Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SJD show, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting, usually from my trifecta of Doctor Who, Formula One, and Eurovision. Today's show, I'll be discussing Doctor Who outfits from 2005 onwards, but first, as always, the news. So we'll start with the Formula One news. So we have had testing. That was last finished off last week. Running order does seem to be Red Bull at the front, with Ferrari not too far behind. Then a little group of Mercedes, McLaren, and Aston Martin to kind of round off the top five. Visa Cash App, Racing Bull, just RB, VCarb. VCarb seems to be a pretty solid sixth place, and then it's a bit of a mishmash between Williams, Alpine, Sauber, and Haas for seventh to tenth. Which isn't a million miles away from last year. I mean, obviously the Toro Rosso being not complete garbage is, I mean, a surprise. Um, there are rumblings as we head into Bahrain that Mercedes actually might be a lot more competitive than they're letting on, so it could be a top three. With McLaren and Aston Martin a little bit further back, which would be a shame. You know, I do desperately want to see McLaren up there fighting for wins and championships again. But I guess we'll find out. Qualifying is on Friday this this week and next week. And the race is on the Saturday, and that was to make way for not make way, but that is because Ramadan is on the Sunday for Saudi Arabia. So they moved that back to the Saturday, and because the F1 rules stipulate there must be a full 7 days between races, they brought the Bahrain one back to the Saturday. The Saturday race will, of course, be for Las Vegas as well. Other news in Formula One, Christian Horner. We've kind of avoided this for the past couple of weeks. Has been cleared of any and all wrongdoing. Obviously, there's still going to be tensions, there's still going to be rumours, there's still going to be all sorts of stuff. I think unless any of that information is made public and the public can actually see what the evidence was and see exactly what's going on, there's not really any way for us to ever know. Which fine, genuinely fine. So that's kind of all the Formula One news. There's not an awful lot there, but now we're gonna have a wee look at the Eurovision news. This is my fourth episode of this podcast, and I kind of can't believe that 4 weeks in, we still don't have a definitive decision on Israel. Now, last week I doubled down on my position. I said, both Russia and Israel should be in the contest, and that's the end of it. If Russia comes last and gets booed off the stage, well, tough luck, don't invade Ukraine. If Israel gets, booed off the stage and gets 0 points and comes last everywhere, same position, maybe a few Palestine. But then to pick and choose the things that you are and aren't discriminating against means that as a body, as the EBU is taking a stance. It is taking the stance that what Russia did was wrong and what Israel's doing is fine. And that is the message that it sends by barring some and not barring others. The point that I made with a very good friend of mine was if you were to look at countries in Eurovision, whilst they've been in Eurovision, and some of the atrocities that they have instigated or been a part of, almost every country should have been banned at some point, including the United Kingdom. We didn't get banned. What happened was we came last with 0 points because nobody wanted to vote for us because we were part of an illegal war. So but you don't ban them. This whole thing of everyone deserves a voice. Yeah, kind of right. Also, it's meant to be an apolitical song contest. Like, just send some songs, sing some songs, lovely jubbly. You know, the politics will come in with the voting, but like I said a couple of weeks back, that's why they brought the juries back. Well, that was the intention of bringing the juries back, was to try and stop the political voting, because I know myself, if Russia was still in Eurovision, I wouldn't vote for them, no matter how good the song was, because of what's happening. But I'd still love to hear what they would come out with. Like, it'd be nice to see Sergei Lazarev get another shot at hopefully winning. Um, And same for Israel. Like, I'm intrigued for what the song's going to be. If it's a good song and it gives me a bop, then brilliant. But if it then doesn't qualify because of what's happening in the real world, then that's life. In an ideal world, Eurovision would just be on the basis of the songs, and politics wouldn't come into it in any way, shape, or form. But that isn't the world we live in. That is my ideal world, and that actually brings me on to something I'm about to talk about. So Ukraine are still the favourite to win, and I don't understand why because the song's not that good. But I do understand why because there's still a war in Russia, and Ukraine were still favourite to win last year until Loreen came out with Tattoo, at which point they became second favourite to win. And that is because of their win in 2022 with Stefania, which I don't think is that good a song. In fact, I think of Ukraine's three entries, only one of them was actually worthy of the win. But I think Ukraine should have had about 3 or 4 wins by now, just not with the songs they've won with. Because like Ukraine sometimes, like Zlata Ognovich in 2013 with Gravity, is just spectacular. And I don't really understand why that didn't win. It was beautiful. It was just gorgeous. I think I'd probably need to have a look at the televote jury split and see why, because that must have been top of the juries. That was just absolutely spectacular. Also, 2013 they had a weird voting system. That's not for right now. Anyway, so they're still favourite to win. Croatia, who have now unveiled their entry, which I will be going over soon, is now second favourite to win, and I reckon that's a pretty strong bet. Um, Italy are joint third favourites to win. Now, I reckon when we get to May, obviously, what happens in the world could shape this in a very, very big way. But once we get to May, I reckon it's going to be Italy and Croatia fighting for the win. Depends what Dizzy is like. That gets released on midnight on the 1st of March. Depends on that. I've heard now all of Sweden's songs. I don't think any of them are going to really fight for the win. Yeah, so I reckon that. Iceland have jumped up to joint third now that the kind of general public have clocked that there's a Palestinian singer in the national final. Of all of Iceland's songs this year are pretty poor, but they've qualified with worse. The Palestinian singer's song is fine. It's nothing special. Definitely shouldn't win. That should not be Iceland's first win. Just if they send the Palestinian guy, it shouldn't win on the basis that he's Palestinian. But then in 2022, Stefania shouldn't have won just on the basis that it was Ukraine, and in 2016, it shouldn't have won on the basis that it was about the annexation of Crimea. So, I personally strive to believe, not I don't believe it's apolitical, but I wish it was. I will always live in my idyllic dream of, you know, if you were to take that sort of voting out, what would the actual results be? Uh, But I'm not going to bother with that because that's way too interesting. But yes, it will be interesting to see where everyone is once all the entries are actually announced, which should be in a couple of weeks' time. Once all the entries are announced, I am going to do like a big Eurovision special. Might have to be split into two actually, just because of how many songs there were. But I'm going to do a big Eurovision special on all the songs. I'm going to get a friend of mine on to help me with that on the podcast so we can go through all the entries. I have a very specific voting system which I've used for about 10, 15 years. Scoring system, I should say. And once upon a time, I had actually gone through every Eurovision from 1956 onwards, but I've since lost all the files and all the paperwork for that. But I will be redoing that at some point. As and when I redo that, I'll of course be doing. I'll be doing episodes on it. Um, yeah, cool. So that's kind of the main. That's kind of the. Oh, right, yeah, of course. And so both of Israel's proposed entries have been banned by the EBU for their lyrics. The lyrics of October Rain are, if you're looking for the hidden meaning, they're there, but look them up. Like it's fine. if you think that October Rain deserves to be barred for political lyrics, go and look at the lyrics to 1944. Like I will always reference 1944 as the point of, well, this was fine. So the EBU clearly don't want Israel in Eurovision, but they just don't want to go, you're barred because of what you're doing, and they're trying to find other ways. There was another entry that, for the life of me, I can't remember the name of, that they tried to put through. Bear with me, I'm going to have a little look at what that was again. Something dance forever. That's the one. Has also been rejected for its political nature. Actually, do you know what? Let's let's look through these together. All right, let's look through these together. And then you can make a decision yourself as to whether you think they are or aren't good or bad. Let me know if you're, get in touch. Get in touch. I'm on Gmail at the SJD Show Podcast at gmail.com. Or you can find me on YouTube at the SJD Show Podcast. If you're watching the video version of this, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I am very intrigued to see what people think about this. So, the lyrics for the October Rain then. Stand with me, look into my eyes and see. People go away but never say goodbye. Someone stole the moon tonight, took my light. Everything is black and white. Who's the fool who told you boys don't cry? Ripping off Switzerland there. Hours and hours and flowers. Life is no game for the cowards. Why does time go wild? Every day I'm losing my mind. Holding on in this mysterious ride. Dancing in the storm, we've got nothing to hide. Take me home and leave the world behind, and I promise you that never again I'm still wet from this October rain, October rain. Living in a fantasy, ecstasy, everything's meant to be, we shall pass, but love will never die. Hours and that's quite. But still 1944 is worse. Hours and flowers, yada yada yada. Dancing in the storm, got nothing to hide. Take me home, leave the world behind. Wet, rain. There's no air left to breathe. There's no space. I'm gone day by day. Everyone is good. Kids one by one. That bit's in Hebrew. Now. Literally, I'm looking at that. There's no mention of, we got attacked by a terrorist organization, but from their point of view, I should say a terrorist organization. As I think there's a wonderful Doctor Who quote of one person's terrorist is another person's freedom fighter. Compare that to when strangers are coming, they come for your house, they kill you all and say we're not guilty. That is the opening line to a song that won Eurovision, and that was fine. There's nothing in there that I think is bad. I really don't. Dance Forever is even less bad. Is it Dance Forever? I've already can't remember it. Sorry, we're just gonna have a little look here. Oh no, it was Dance Forever. Right. Let's have a wee look. Now, chances are Eden Golden will release these. I'd be surprised if she doesn't. Right, so running, city lights, fighting, my mind hiding, I don't know what's right. Take me to the right road, there's no more time and I can't go wrong. Breathe in, I know I'm strong. I break all the chains, I'm on the edge now. Watch me fly away, dance like an angel. You will remember that I will dance forever, I will dance again, dance like an angel. Drowning in the sunrise, my heart is so cold, but my soul is on fire. Someone is calling from paradise. Listen, the hope doesn't stop, it just spreads its wings. It's like a million stars that suddenly light up in the sky. Heart on fire, blah, 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 blah. Dance like an angel, dance like an angel, dance again, dance, blah, yada, yada, yada. Right? There's nothing, like, that is bog standard Eurovision lyrics. Like, if you want to look for a hidden message in that, you'll find it. But you will find it in a lot of songs. You will find it in a lot of songs. You could. I'm not even going to go into how ridiculous it is to try and like find hidden meanings in a lot of Eurovision songs. They're there if you want them. Yeah, so I think the EBU should just grow a pair of balls and say Israel's not coming into Eurovision because of what's happening in Palestine, and that's the end of it. Instead of trying to say, oh well, the lyrics are bad. No, they're not. Lyrics are fine. You barred Russia because it would bring the contest into disrepute. Bar Israel for the same reason, and just accept that's what you're doing. Anyway, right. So, one of the other things, that came out that I saw while I was having a look at where the contest is at the moment. One of the commentators for Sweden said that she reckons the Big Five should be scrapped. Now, this is something I completely agree with. I think the notion of the Big Five is very, very outdated, and that should have been gone a long, long time ago. Um, but I actually have a replacement suggestion. So her suggestion was the previous winning country and the host country, if they're different, would be the only one or two that qualify at the final. Now I disagree. I think we keep the big five, but what the big five is very different. And I'm gonna do that next week. Next week is not going to be a Doctor Who centric. The main podcast won't be Doctor Who centric. It is going to very much be what I would do, like how I would revise Eurovision's so-called Big Five so that it works in a much better way. I think it takes inspiration from what Eurovision did in the late 90s and early 2000s. So we have a few entries. We've got Croatia's entry, Baby Lasagna with Rim Team Duggy Team, which very quickly became my favourite entry this year. It is absolutely spectacular. It takes a fair amount of inspiration from Karia's Cha Cha Cha, as you know, does a lot of entries this year. A lot of people have gone for slightly more off the wall entries, which is always great to see. But this one is spectacular. Baby Lasagna's said he hopes to get Croatia into the top 10 again. And I'm like, dude, never mind that. Croatia's best result was fourth, joint for they've had it twice. Once in '99 with Maria Magdalena. I can't remember the singer's name, but I loved that. That was my favorite that year. When I first watched 1999, that was my favorite song. I loved it. And this might be the second time that Croatia have my favorite song. I mean, My Friend's really good as well from 2017 or 18. Can't remember which. I think it's 17. Anyway, celebrates a guilty pleasure. So I think Baby Lasagna should be aiming higher. I reckon, like I said earlier, I reckon this is going to fight for the win. I don't think this is a case of, oh well, hopefully it'll get top 10, and oh if we're really lucky to. I reckon you're first or second. You're third or fourth if politics get in the way, but Croatia should be looking at a top three. And I think Zagreb should be getting ready for a potential hosting next year. Um, as should Italy, because Italy's entry is phenomenal. San Marino have sent in one of uh, unaffectionately, I'll say one of Spain's rejects from last year. Her name is Magara. Last year, she entered Spain's national final with Arcadia, which was my favourite in last year's national final. I loved Arcadia. I was really sad that I didn't get through, especially with what Spain ended up sending, which was just an absolute travesty. Um, and yeah, their songs "Living a Living," and it's fine. It's eh, it genuinely it's just kind of it's just fine. It's nothing particularly spectacular. I mean, especially given Croatia's. If you haven't seen Croatia's, go and like genuinely go and watch it. I was on the phone to my friend last night, and I literally made him watch the performance while we were on the phone, and then we talked about it for about 20 minutes. It was it's spectacular. It's properly spectacular. So that is the Eurovision news. As the Formula One news as well, only real Doctor Who news is that our man Christopher Eccleston hit the wonderful age of 60 years old. So happy birthday to you, sir. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. And now we move on to the classic, not classic, the new Doctor Who outfits. Now we're good. Now I said a while back, oh, I'm not going to touch on audios. I'm relaxing on that already. I think for the purposes of that first episode of the podcast, and if you've listened to it all the way through, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I've gone back and listened to snippets of it, and I don't think it's my best work. Especially the fact that I talk about how I'm not going to look into the books and the audio because it's knowledge I don't have, and I didn't really own that. And the reason I'm saying that is for the picture right here of the Eighth Doctor. Got an updated version of his outfit for the audio series. I think it was for Dark Eyes. It might be for one earlier. Um, so shorter hair, sonic screwdriver with a bluish like diode at the end, and like a Captain Jack inspired but more leathery with a kind of bandolier bag going on. It's got like the six gold buttons. It's a look. It's a look. It's not the Eighth Doctor that I know. It's certainly not an eighth. Like I would never look at that and go, "That's the Eighth Doctor." But I mean, it is whether I like it or not. So then, obviously, that was the little special preview. Now we move on to the Ninth Doctor with one of the most undoctored, and now especially coming from the classic series, this is such a departure. This is miles apart. We have ditched the costumes of 5, 6, and 7, and the last part of 4, and we have brought in some genuine earthy realism. We've got the battered leather jacket, we've got the black trousers, and in this one, I think it's a red pullover, and that's it. That's it. That's the Doctor's outfit. That is the Ninth Doctor's outfit. There are some variations which we will go over. But that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. Now, Colin Baker has said in a few interviews since this was kind of what he wanted for the Doctor when he was the Doctor. I don't think this would have worked in the 80s in any way, shape, or form because it was the 80s. Uh, but I think this is a very timeless look. It's a very, very timeless look. As I looked at Christopher Eccleston, absolutely rocks. He looks great in it. It gives the Doctor this obviously Christopher Eccleston's own amazing acting ability pulls off the sort of edge that this Doctor was always going to have. But that jacket rams it home. Like it's not sparkly and fresh and new, and he's not. It's literally it's a battered leather jacket. I like the implication that maybe when he first put that jacket on as the Ninth Doctor when he regenerated, it was fresh, it was new, and he saw it as a this is my chance to walk away from the time, and he just never changed it. That's what I like to think anyway. That's my own little personal headcanon. So the next photo that we've got here, I mean, I've got to say the jacket looks a lot nicer, but I think it's probably because it's a promo shot from End of the World. The only difference is, like I said, we've got a couple of variations here. The variation is that the little pullover jumper thing was very, very thin, but it's like jumper material, but it's a t-shirt. I should probably ask my wife what that is. I'm sure that has a name. I'm going to stick with pullover. Probably wrong though. And it's purple. I do love my purple, and it's a little purple variation. What we have here is a shot from the Unquiet Dead. You can just see the back of Simon Callow's head there, which is lovely. And it's like a blue blackish pullover. That is the only difference here. And you can see that the leather jacket is indeed battered to an almost pulp. Now we have Mr. Tennant wearing Christopher Eccleston's slightly less battered leather jacket and the black version of the pullover, and it is the only time I think that an actor doesn't really look good in his previous incarnation's outfits. Although it would have been interesting to see what David Tennant looked like in Jodie's outfit, because Sacha Dhawan really pulled it off. It looked really, really cool on him. The next thing we see him in is his gym jams with this lovely little stripy shirt that he's got on and the little satsuma that he has in his little cardigan pocket. Very cute. Also, side note, look how young he looks here. We then have our first of what is about genuinely 40 variations of David Tennant's outfit. Now, David Tennant has one outfit in his entire run, apart from when he's wearing the like Christmas tuxedo. His outfit is a t-shirt, a shirt, tie, waistcoat, sometimes suit jacket, trench coat. That's it. But the amount of variety that the wonderful costume designers managed to get into that is just insane. Like it's I when I was doing the research for this podcast, I did not realize that it changes noticeably every episode. Like pretty much there's only a couple of episodes where there isn't a noticeable change. So what we have here is what it is in New Earth. Now, this is the standard. It's I mean, it looks like a pale blue shirt here, but it could be white, white or pale blue, we'll say, with the brown tie that has little like blue, like circles on it. We've got the brown, with the blue pinstripe suit, and the big trench coat as well. Now, this is like an absolutely classic. This is now a classic look. This is the Doctor. For a whole host of people around my generation, this is the Doctor. Some people think of the scarf, some people think of the big trench coat and the plimsolls, and the this became a very iconic look. In the same way the bow tie became an iconic look for Matt Smith's Doctor when that Doctor kind of stormed America in a really big way. Yeah, so this is the Doctor. This is yeah, it looks great. It looks absolutely great. This is our first major variation, and it is quite a variation. I think the first thing you'll notice is there's no tie. He is actually tieless. This is from the episode Tooth and Claw. And what we see is he's got a polo shirt underneath his actual shirt, and then there is the suit jacket on top. We have got the Brady specs on, and we don't have the trench coat. Now, I really like this. I really like this outfit. I like the color scheme on it. I like how dark it is. Uh, yeah, it's a very, very good kind of color palette for the episode and for the time it's set in as well. The next one we have here is School Reunion. It's basically the same tie. Basically the same shirt as from Tooth and Claw, but we've got that brown tie with the blue markings and stuff on them. Which again, I think this is a nice look as well. I mean, they all look good. Do you know what? They all look good. So this is Rise the Cybermen. We've got the now it could be light brown. Again, this could be the exact same outfit from New Earth, but because the color hue is different, it looks different. At the very least, it's a nice kind of wider shot of the general 10th Doctor look. And that is exactly what this is. This is the kind of quintessential 10th Doctor look. Shirt tie, suit jacket, suit trousers, trench coat. You can't see the plimsolls, but trust me, they're there. The next thing that we have is what I call the Christmas suit. Makes its first appearance in Age of Steel. Christmas suit, which he wears in Voyage of the Damned as well, is just a white shirt, black bow tie, black suit jacket. That's it. But it's very nice. He looks very dapper in it. The next thing we have is the Idiot's Lantern. So the big difference here, other than the hair, the jacket is again it's the white or the pale blue. It could be either. But the tie is markedly different. It's got much more kind of interesting designs on it. It's got the kind of light brown against the dark brown. The light blue is still in there as well. So similar color themes, but very, very different design on the tie. Again, a gorgeous, gorgeous look. Um, Now this next one, from the Impossible Planet or the Satan's Pit, the you can kind of tell the coloring's weird because the suit jacket looks markedly different, but that is exactly the same suit jacket. I'm not really a big fan of this one. I don't like that tie. I think having a blue tie with brown spots on it doesn't look good with that kind of like green browny shirt that he's wearing. Um, yeah, no, that's not this isn't a good look. Not a good variation, shall we say? And this, oh, I love that shirt. I love that shirt. I wish I had a shirt that looked as beautifully vibrant as that. And it's kind of a shame that this This shirt gets its. I think it comes back at some point later on, but it only really gets a little cameo in Love and Monsters at the beginning and a little bit at the end. The tie looks different again. It's again the brown with big, uh, big kind of bright blue markings down it. And also, you notice there that he's got the two top buttons of his suit jacket done up, and the third one not. That's also one of the things that he kind of in himself to give a bit of variation in his outfit. He was like, I'm always going to try and do different variations on what buttons I do and don't have done up. Next one we have is in Fear Her. Now, again, Rasan's tie. It actually looks like Rasan's shirt. It looks like we've just got the polo shirt and then the suit jacket over the top. Which, given how cold it was when they were filming this, that's a brave choice from Mr. T there. Anyway, looks fine. Doesn't look anywhere near as nice as the as what we had previously though. That's just a gorgeous, gorgeous look. Now we've now got this for Army of Ghosts. We're kind of back to again. It could be white or light blue, depending on kind of how your own color perceptions are. But the tie is the kind of main difference here. We've got little squares. Well, most of them are squares. Some of them are just kind of random shapes. But yeah, looks fine. Looks absolutely fine. And that actually brings us to an end for all of the stuff for Series 2, because what we have here is what I think of as the 10th Doctor's outfit. Red tie, blue pinstripe suit, gorgeous. This is my absolute favourite variation of the 10th Doctor's outfit. It is my absolute favourite. I love the red tie. I've just noticed the gorgeous little blue flowers on it, which are amazing. We've got the white shirt. If there is a polo shirt or t-shirt underneath, we don't know. Yeah, we've got 4 buttons on this one, on the suit jacket. Might be 4 on the other one as well. That's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love this one. I absolutely love this one. Yeah, this is my own personal favourite, and this is from Smith and Jones. We then have the Shakespeare Code, but this just looks like the same outfit he was wearing in Army of Ghosts, actually. I might cut this out. I might not. We'll see. What have we got next? Yeah, so then we come to Daleks in Manhattan, and we've got the same look. We've got the blue pinstripe suit with the white. We've got the trench coat on this one as well. The tie is different. Instead of it being red, it is that kind of bluish, dark bluish hue with it's got like red roses on it instead with this one. So a bit of a difference. I mean, nothing's really coming close to the Smith and Jones outfit, though. I absolutely love that one. We then see the reappearance of the black suit in the Lazarus Experiment, which again I will probably not include because it is exactly the same. We then have a nice close-up for 42. So we've got the return of a t-shirt underneath. It looks brown in colour. Then we've got looks like an absolutely gorgeous, like vivid red mahogany striped shirt, and then the blue pinstripe suit as well. That's really good. That's really nice. That's a very, very nice little looking outfit. It's a shame it doesn't have a tie. I do prefer the 10th Doctor with a tie, but hey ho. And then we have this absolute corker from Human Nature. Now this is when this technically this isn't the Doctor's outfit. This is John Smith's outfit. But I mean he is wearing it for all of about, 4 seconds at the end of Family of Blood. And it is just your classic, history teacher-esque. But it's like a ye olde English version of what you like of the Doctor's outfit, because I've just realised this is very similar to, like, you make this purple and this is stunningly close to what the 11th Doctor wears in his last season. Anyway, we've got the kind of just brown greyish, that kind of fuzzy look of, we've got the suit jacket, we've actually got a waistcoat in this one, the trousers, white shirt, bow tie, lovely, very dapper. Not the best photo of David Tennant here. That's a weird face is pulling, but it's a very, very nice outfit. And then at the end of Family of Blood, we see them attending. It's not Tim's funeral. What is it? Is it like It's like Veterans Day or something, isn't it? I can't remember. Anyway, they've got the poppies on. It's Remembrance Day, obviously. First World War, obviously. Um, and we've got him wearing that lovely blue shirt that I like, with the brown pinstripe and that tie with the little squares on it. We then have a very very similar look from Blink, where we're sans tie again, and we've got a kind of white t-shirt underneath. We've got a well, actually, no. Is that one, two, three, four? Is that 5 layers? Is that a white t-shirt underneath, or is that just like the style of the polo shirt where it's the collar is like down by your like down just underneath your collarbone, and then you've got that big white bit? Who knows? This could be a 5 layer. Might be 4. And then we've got that blue shirt that he was wearing in the previous episode, and then brown, so on and so forth. Lovely jubbly. All right, so we've got an outfit here from Last of the Time Lords. Now we've got we've got my favourite blue. We've got was like a dark blue purplish shirt with that with the dark blue tie with red on it. That is a gorgeous look for me. I think that is stunning. It's a beautiful variation. It's still not my favourite. My favourite is what we saw at the beginning in Smith and Jones with the white shirt and the red tie. But that is very, very nice. Very dapper from Mr. Tennant. Then Partners in Crime, we've got a couple of different variations. The one on the left being, that shirt that I like. The big difference here is the tie. Instead of it being kind of interesting patterns, it is just stripes. And on the right, we have the return of the white stroke light blue shirt, but we've got a brown tie with blue spots on it, which is nice. Much better than that blue tie with brown spots. That was a rancid tie. A lot of the variations with the 10th Doctor clearly are ties. Ties and shirts combinations. That's pretty much it. But hey, it's not as interesting as the third Doctor's, is it? Because the third Doctor was the entire outfit was changing color or texture or something, whereas this does just tend to be ties and stuff. Right, let's see what we have next then. Yeah, sure. So, I don't know why I missed this earlier. Time Crash with the 5th and 10th Doctors. So, 10th Doctor wearing the outfit that he was wearing at the end of Last of the Time Lords. But what I find really interesting about this is the 5th Doctor's outfit, because he's not wearing the one he regenerated in. He's wearing his one from seasons 19 and 20. Which, given one of the things that the 10th Doctor asks in this is, oh, whereabouts are you now? Nissa, Deegan, blah, blah, blah. Well, this kind of puts it somewhere. Which is interesting, because when I looked at this photo, because obviously last week I realised, live almost, that he does actually have a variation. It's quite interesting to see this. Yeah, so really, really, I mean, nice to see the two of them together as well. It's a wonderful little mini-sode. I'll cover it at some point, not right now. Next, what we've got here is from Planet of the Ood. We've got Sans tie. We've got a kind of brown t-shirt and that kind of mahogany shirt back, which is very, very nice. How many buttons have we got done up? Just the top 2. Lovely. Again, very, very nice. I love the blue suit. Oh no, I mean, I think, does the blue clash with the trench coat a little bit? I mean, yeah. Certainly the brown suit works better with the trench coat, but I like the blue suit in itself a lot more. Silence in the Library. We've got not a similar variation, it's definitely different. It's that kind of brown on brown. Oh no, it is. No, yeah. It's kind of like the brown undershirt, the brown shirt, but with that kind of lovely dark blue tie with the red patterns on that you had for Last of the Time Lords, which is really, really nice. We then have Midnight with a navy blue undershirt and a blue shirt, no tie, and the brown pinstripe suit. Now, this is a very, very good look. That's a really good look. Still not overtaking the Smith and Jones one though, but that's a good look. We've then got the Meta Crisis Doctor as he's leaving. with Rose on a parallel world. And we've got just the red t-shirt and the blue pinstripe shirt. That's it. Hey, basic look. But I guess it's fine. Now, the next Doctor. We've got the 10th Doctor and we have Jackson Lake, the Doctor that never was. Now, the 10th Doctor's outfit here, we've got buttons 1 and 3 done up, which is lovely. We've got the blue shirt and the brown tie with the stripes down it. Fine. Very, very classic look, that. That's a really good look for the 10th Doctor, actually. But Jackson Lake, the Doctor that never was. Oh, David Morrissey puts in. I mean, obviously, this isn't the episode to talk about the performances. I might do an episode on alternate Doctors at some point, or like Doctors that never were. But he is just absolutely is so good in this episode. It is almost a shame that he was never the Doctor, because he is spectacular. I'd love a big Finish series, or even a live action series, or a couple of novels of just him and Rosita's travels around London in the 1800s. I mean, this outfit is just spectacular. We've got the white shirt, we've got this gorgeous like golden cravat tie thing, the red waistcoat with the floral patterns on, which is beautiful, and that gorgeous overcoat, which I can't even place. It's like it wants to be tartan, but it's not got the tartan design right. And it's got that black just above the lapels, it's got like the black, what do you call it, collar? Which contrast, and you can just see to the right of David Tennant's left hand, he'll have the watch as well. Interestingly, in the background of this, you can see the design of the new Cyber Leader, which looks crap. Cybermen are a discussion for another day. Their designs are wild. They're wild. Anyway, the Doctor that never was, Jackson Lake, looking absolutely stunning. What have we got next? Let's have a little look. So I'm included this from the end of time. Just Tennant in a big hat and the big coral reef. The big pink thing, and it's fine. The rest of the outfit is pretty bog standard. They put him in his, most famous variation of his outfit for this, the white or light blue shirt with the brown tie with the designs on it. As you can see here, with the 11th Doctor's first outfit, wearing his predecessor's clothes, and dude looks great. He looks better when he takes the jacket off, which we can see here. It's also a nice kind of look at exactly what Tennant was wearing in his last episode. But I think Matt Smith looks brilliant here. He looks like the Doctor. We start a tradition. Well, I say start a tradition. It's not really a tradition because only 11 and 13 have it, where their predecessor's outfit is a bit battered and broken and bruised and worn and torn. But he looks great here. He looks absolutely great. He suits the blue shirt really well. It's almost definitely blue, that isn't it? You can tell it's blue next to Amy Pond's white shirt on the right. And the brown tie with those blue marking. That looks great. It looks absolutely great. That is a very, very nice variation of 10's outfit sitting on 11. But the main one is right here. We've got the tweed jacket. We've got the bow tie. That's the things that most people really notice. There's also braces under there as well. But the 11th Doctor's outfit is a bit more than that. So we've also got boots that we can't see here. And obviously we've got the black trousers that he wears as well. The red or blue braces that are hidden underneath the tweed jacket in this particular outfit. Photo, I should say. We have the red dicky bow on the red variation of his shirt. Now this has one variation in this season, and that variation is the blue one. Showcased here with his wonderful little jammy dodger of doom. It is a bluer, greener, just not as vibrant shirt and a blue bow tie, complete with blue braces as well. And then here we have the Fez, making its first appearance in... Is it Pandora or Big Bang? No, because you've already got the explosion up there, so it is the Big Bang. Lovely. And then obviously the red variation of the suit as well. We then have the 11th Doctor's version of the wedding attire. I was saying wedding, I meant like the black suit, like the Christmas. Anyway, so white shirt, cream scarf, cream waistcoat, black top hat, black coat with the coattails on. He's a very dapper man. He's a very dapper man, is Matt Smith. Now, obviously, that first outfit with the bow tie and the tweed jacket, that is what is quintessentially the 11th Doctor. That's what most people think of the 11th Doctor. I don't think it is even close to his best outfit. Not even close. I think we have so much better coming. Particularly including this one. I mean, this is just, it's a much plainer shirt with a much plainer dicky bow and the Santa hat as well for fun. We then see here that come Series 6, they do start to add a bit more variety into the baseline. So we've got a shirt with some white stripes down it and what I think is like a dark green bow tie. Rest is the same. We then have a red bow tie variant with a white shirt with stripes down it. So the shirts become a little bit simpler. I think the bow tie is a bit more vibrant, which is nice. Similar to what we saw before. Oh, so the previous one was from Curse of Black Pearl. The first one, of course, was from The Impossible Astronaut. This is from A Good Man Goes to War. And we have a very, very plain shirt with a darker red dicky bow tie. So, this is the second main outfit for the 11th Doctor. He has three that he wears consistently throughout his run. The first is the tweed jacket, shirt, and dicky bow. The second is this longer green outer jacket, which replaces the tweed jacket. We can see here the variation shirt-wise is still the dark blue bow tie and the white shirt with the stripes down it. I had mixed feelings about this when I first saw it. I have mixed feelings about it when I was doing the research for this podcast, and I have mixed feelings about it now. I don't think it's good for him. I don't think the dark green is a particularly good color for a longer coat. Obviously, Matt Smith wanted one for a while. What he ends up getting is so much better. And this feels like a weird like a mid step. Like this feels like it was a compromise. And it looks like one too. I don't know if I've included a photo of him wearing a Stetson or not. But he wears a Stetson at the beginning of The Impossible Astronaut as well, which, he weirdly looks very good in. We get another variation of the kind of smarter suit, should I say. I want to keep calling it the Christmas suit, even though he only wears it in one Christmas episode in Voyage of the Damned. But we've got a much bigger black top hat. We've got a much more kind of pressed white shirt with some black lines up it. We've got a white dicky bow, which is adorable. And we've got the tails on the suit jacket as well. This is also from A Good Man Goes to War. Yeah, and he looks great in that too. Now, this is a better look at I think the green jacket looks better here. But so this is from Closing Time, and he's got the red braces, blue shirt, red mahogany, dicky bow. Hair looks good here as well, actually. But in this episode, he takes that jacket off, and it looks better. It looks a lot better. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this green, but that's fine. It doesn't stick around for too long. And then we have this beautiful, gorgeous Victorian era inspired, as my wife calls it, the Willy Wonka outfit. And I don't disagree, but I think that is a compliment of the highest order. This, I think, is just, I think it's beautiful. I think it's a shame it was only around for one episode, but I see why. Actually, looking at the lapels of this, is this the same outfit he's wearing when he's Old Man 11? No, because that's a bit woolier, that one, isn't it? Oh, look at this, it's beautiful. So we're going to go top, let's go bottom up. The shoes, they're gorgeous. We've got the boots again. They're this kind of like battered brown colour. We've got the checkered trousers. We have a red velvet waistcoat, complete with pocket watch. Underneath, we can see a shirt with red stripes and an actual tie. We've got the the 11th Doctor does look good in a top hat. We've got the big, tall, red mahogany top hat, but the most stunning thing from this outfit for me is the outer jacket. It is gorgeous. It is absolutely beautiful. I would wear that every day of the week if I had one. The lapel, the design on the lapels is beautiful. Oh, just look at it. It is a work of art. It is an absolute work of art. So imagine how happy I was when they did this and adapted it to his actual costume. This, to me, is the 11th Doctor. I think in the back end of Series 7, Matt Smith absolutely nails his version of the Doctor. Absolutely nails it. His first season is wonky as hell. His second season is a bit marred with the stories, as is his first five with the Pawns are brilliant. But I think this is where we see the Doctor that I wish we got this version of his Doctor for another 2 or 3 years, because this version is stunning, as is the outfit. So we have adapted the Willy Wonka outfit into the third main outfit. This is not a variation, this is the third main outfit of the 11th Doctor. It is a third major change. Black trousers as always, but what we have now is we have kept the waistcoat from Christmas and the pocket watch, both of which looking absolutely sensational. We have got the shirt and dicky bow, the dicky bow now matching the purpley colour scheme, and the outer jacket is this gorgeous, is it still tweed? Is it still tweeds? Ha ha ha! Ah, brilliant. It's still tweed. The purple jacket on the outside, which is just I look at this and I get filled with joy. I get filled with absolute joy looking at that photo, because that to me is that's my version of the 11th Doctor, if you will. When I think of the 11th Doctor, this is what I think of. Um, and this is when I started to really fall in love with the 11th Doctor, and I, you know, I started to fall in love with the 11th Doctor about this time. The outfit obviously helps, uh, and yeah, it's beautiful. I could wax lyrical for a while, and this is just it. Sans jacket. Weird photo here. It kind of makes Matt Smith's thighs look a lot more bulgy than they actually are. But again, like I look at this and he is the Doctor. Like this is the Doctor. This isn't Matt Smith wearing a tweed jacket and a dicky bow. This is that's the Doctor to me. In the same way that Eccleston, although he looks so undoctorish, he is the Doctor. This is what I think of as the 11th Doctor. Now we have a nice little historical variant. We are still sticking with the theme, shirt, dicky bow, waistcoat, pocket watch, and the tweed, almost tartan-esque design there on the suit jacket. That tartan-esque design spread the whole time, and he's got a little bowler hat on, which looks a lot better on him than the top hat. I think Matt Smith himself was a big fan of hats. I think he wears a lot of hats when he's just out and about, doesn't he? So it's kind of makes sense that he would try and incorporate that into the Doctor. But yeah, another beautiful variation on an almost flawless outfit. We now take a little bit of a sidestep. So what we got at the end of Name of the Doctor was the revelation that there was a Doctor we didn't know about. That was the Doctor during the Time War, and he is known as the War Doctor, played by wonderful late John Hurt. And this outfit is just sensational. We've got the normal shoes on, but he's got, what are those? Are those shin guards? Are those leather shin guards? Sensational. With the tan brown trousers, red belts. As every Doctor does, we've got a waistcoat there, complete with pocket watch. I say every Doctor, not every Doctor, most Doctors. We've got the kind of cravat scarf thing around his neck. We've got the stripy white shirt underneath, and you can just about make out the battered leather bandolier underneath his wonderful, longer, battered leather jacket. Which doesn't put end to my theory that the Ninth Doctor might have started with one, because I don't think the implication is that the Ninth Doctor kept the exact same jacket, but maybe he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he kept the exact same jacket. It's very different to what the Ninth Doctor wears. So I mean, obviously not. But oh, what a gorgeous look though. That's a stunning, stunning look for John Hurt's Doctor. That absolutely stunning. The other Doctor who gets a glorious upgrade is the Eighth Doctor. Paul McGann's Doctor making his first, I was going to say on-screen appearance, not even TV appearance. He didn't make an appearance on the TV till Power of the Doctor. What we have here is a more rough and ready update of his original outfit. So the outfit that we saw at the beginning of, if you're watching this, the outfit that you see at the beginning of the video, if you're listening to this, the first outfit where he is wearing like a blue coat, all that is gone, and we have a much more kind of rough and ready version of the Eighth Doctor's outfit that we covered at the end of last week. I mean, I say it's like a version. It's very much different. It's almost looks like we've repurposed Matt Smith's green overcoat. Actually, it's very similar to that. We have a very dirty white shirt underneath, a brown belt which has got a very interesting like metallic link. Brown trousers, waistcoat, which again looks a little velvet. You can just see the outlines of a pocket watch, and we've got a kind of blue cravat there as well. Very doctorish, very much a doctor that's laying low. Now, I don't know much about the Eighth Doctor during the Time War. I haven't got around to those parts of the audio adventures yet. But this does, yeah, this does a great job, I think, of showcasing an Eighth Doctor who is just trying to stay away from the war as much as possible, laying low, just doing his thing. I think it's a gorgeous outfit. It's a beautiful. I think this is a better outfit than the one he wears in the movie. I really do. Then for Day of the Doctor, we've got 11 and 10 side by side. Now, what have we got 10 wearing? Brown pinstripe suit, of course, the light blue shirt, and a brown tie with blue designs on it. Obviously, what else? Now, seeing these two side by side highlights, I think for me, just how beautiful the 11th Doctor's outfit is. That purple and the white shirt and this photo to me just encapsulates everything perfect about 2013 Doctor Who. Because you've got two brilliant actors in two wonderful outfits standing in the Welsh countryside with autumn leaves around them. Yeah, I mean, I think of all the multi-Doctor photos that we have, this just looks so good. It looks like an evolution rather than like that shot of the five Doctors, even of the two Doctors, even like the shot on the five Doctors where you've got very costumed Fifth Doctor, not costumed First Doctor, dandy Third Doctor, clown Second Doctor, and the Fifth Doctor sticks out like a sore thumb. In the two Doctors, they try and rectify a little bit of the Sixth Doctor's outfit, but even the colours in the Second Doctor's outfit are a bit more vibrant. Whereas this just looks, I don't know, it just looks real. Maybe I think real is probably the best way I can think to describe it, and it's just, I love it. And then, last but not least, we have the 11th Doctor's final outfit, which he wears on Trenzalore in Time of the Doctor. Similar-ish to what he wears in the Snowman. It's like a blend of the Snowman and his Series 7 outfit. I love the kind of like the woolly nature of this. It's gorgeous. Like it's absolutely gorgeous. Like it just looks so warm and comfortable. I love the little bow tie. Is the kind of same as the same as the one that he wears throughout Series 7. Um, yeah, it's just a really, really nice, like Christmassy, warm version of what he wore for all of Series 7. Series 7, of course, my favourite outfit, which we see here for the last time, just before the sneeze regeneration. Um, Taking off his bow tie, his dicky bow, sorry, which is purple with little white spots on it, and we see him sans tie. Well, for the first time in a long time, really. And then after he sneezes, he turns into this wonderful man here, the 12th Doctor. Another Doctor looking absolutely glorious in his predecessor's outfit. We have got the literally everything that he was wearing as the 11th Doctor. Look at that lovely little pocket watch you can see there as well. 12 looking absolutely gorgeous in this outfit. The next thing we see him wearing is his little nightie, which Peter Capaldi also pulls off surprisingly well, as he also pulls off this tramp outfit. It's just kind of mishmash of getting some random clothes off of the local homeless man. How does he look so good in so many things? Like, it is kind of incredible that this man looks so good in pretty much whatever they throw him in, including this, which is like a precursor to what we're gonna wear. This is obviously him in some more period accurate attire. So again, we have what has become absolute tradition with doctors since David Tennant: shirt, tie, some kind of waistcoat or overcoat, and long coat on the outside as well. I would have been fine if this was the 12th Doctor's outfit as well. I love the period. I love the period costumes. Every time the Doctor's in a period costume, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Try to think if there is a version of a period outfit that I haven't liked yet. Certainly not nothing we've covered in this kind of two part podcast. But I'm thinking if there's any coming. Does 13 ever wear? I don't think 13 ever gets a historically accurate version of her outfit. And obviously 15's outfits are just all over the shop. I don't know. Okay, anyway. Looks really, really good. And then we get the outfit for the 12th Doctor. This remains on a baseline largely unchanged. So, like the third Doctor, what we have with the 12th Doctor is we have a base motif, but everything around it changes. So, unlike the 12th Doctor, where the suit jacket only had two variations, it was a bit mixed up the shirt. 12, we have shirt, sometimes tie, sometimes not tie. Waistcoat, sometimes, sometimes not. Suit jacket, sometimes not. Full jacket, sometimes not. And trousers. I mean, mix and match those for the next 4 years that Capaldi is the Doctor. So this one then, we've got white shirt, we have black waistcoat, and we have absolutely gorgeous long coat on the outside with the red lining, which I believe they call like the magician's outfit a bit later on in the season, which is fine. I wouldn't mind looking like a magician if a magician looked like that. It looks absolutely wonderful. The next kind of variation that we see is in Robots of Sherwood, which we've got here, where we have that outer jacket, but there's no waistcoat. It is just a fully buttoned up, lovely maroon shirt, which he looks great in. The man looks great in pretty much everything. It's somewhat unfair. We then get our first look at it's like a shirt with like I guess it's meant to be like stars. There must be a better photo of this later on down the line. There just must be, and if not, I'll find one and put it in here. Then in Time Heist, we have again sans shirt, potentially sans shirt, sans tie, potentially sans waistcoat as well. We've got a kind of very, very dark blue, almost black shirt underneath the long suit jacket. Here we go. Much better look at the like stars-esque. Is that a pullover? I think it is. And the Caretaker, where we see the Doctor sporting this lovely kind of janitorial coat with the little two pens and front left pocket. Very, very cute. Only time we see the Doctor wearing the polka dot shirt. I like it. It's fine. I think this is from Kill the Moon. Episode 7? Yeah. Yeah, because it's Mummy the Orient Express. 12's version of the Christmas outfit. I really should stop calling it the Christmas outfit, but hey, that's what I think it most looks like. So we've got white shirt, we have lovely bow tie, glorious black suit with the little kerchief in the left pocket there. I think there is also a black waistcoat underneath, but you can't quite tell in this particular photo. We get another good look at that. Um, I want to call it like the starry pullover, with the jacket with the red lining. This is in the Forest of the Night. And the next, yeah, so then this is that for, yeah, so this is Last Christmas then. So again, we keep that shirt, but now we've added the only real thing that gets added to the 12th Doctor's outfits, which is a hoodie. Black hoodie, lovely zip. I think it works really, really well with the rest of the 12th Doctor's aesthetic. We still haven't come up to my favourite one. Like Pertwee, I love the general styling of the 12th Doctor. So finding a favourite is, well, which one of the many coloured, like when we start moving into the smoking jackets, which is coming up very, very soon, and try to pick a favourite from that is quite tough. So here, this is a lovely photo. Look at Missy. Missy looks incredible. That's proper Mary Poppins. Maybe I should do the master outfits in a couple of weeks as well. Because they must change. I'm literally thinking John Sims' master has three distinct outfits. Michelle Gomez is now must have at least two. Sasha Dillons has a few. Delgado more or less has the same. Anthony Ainley more or less just has one. Maybe I will. Maybe that's time. Maybe, it'll be the first half hour. It'll be, and this is a slightly different black cloak, and this is a slightly different black cloak. Anyway, the Doctor. So we keep the jacket, the overcoat, which looks absolutely wonderful. We've still got that black hoodie. We've now replaced it with a white T-shirt and much more Patrick Troughton-esque trousers with the kind of checkers. Rather than the black trousers he was wearing previously. We also see here the first appearance of the sonic sunglasses. This must be Girl Who Waited. Is that right? No, Girl Who Waited is something completely different. This is Girl Who Died. Mind you, it looks more like, unless that T-shirt's different. Unless the T-shirt's different, that actually might just be the same. Overcoat might be a different colour. Oh, here we go. So this to me is this is one of my favourite 12th Doctor looks with the red velvet smoking jacket. Lovely to see it making a comeback. Minus the frilly shirt, of course, to help distinguish him from Pertwee. We've got the white shirt. We've got it's like a navy blue waistcoat and trousers underneath it. It is beautiful. And then here from Hellbent, we see the 12th Doctor with literally just shirt and an unbuttoned waistcoat, trousers, belt. Like, he just looks like almost like a guy you guess who just come out of a wedding and is, just on a Kaylee and is a bit tired. But it looks amazing. He still looks like the Doctor here. The man just looks so dapper at all moments. It's unfair. Yeah, we then get this version for Husbands of River Song, where we are just plain white shirt, black waistcoat, and the overcoat with the red lining. Later on in the episode, he puts on a new black suit jacket with a black bow tie and a white shirt, because obviously he has to turn up with a haircut and a new suit. Which he promptly does. So next, we've got... yeah, just that even better look at that red velvet smoking jacket. This is such a gorgeous promo photo. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. I'll be wearing something very similar to this at my wedding because it's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Also, like this Doctor kind of suits not having a tie. He looks really good without a tie. Anyway, so I guess the first big variation, if you want to call it a variation, comes the beginning of Series 10 in the pilot. Many layers with this one though. So we've still got the boots and the trousers. Looks like we've got a blue t-shirt underneath, or a black t-shirt, and then we've got a blue suit jacket, and then we've got a black hoodie, and then we've also got a black coat on the outside of that, with very nice light blue turquoise lining. Not turquoise, that's more light blue. Teal. It's more teal. Yeah, it looks incredible. Looks absolutely incredible. And this is same but just different color later on in the episode. So we've got the red shirt underneath. Do you know the way he wears it? It does make it look like the hood is attached to the jacket rather than part of the hoodie. It's quite deceptive. I quite like it. And then here we have the 12th Doctor wearing, a top hat, which looks amazing in, a big kind of cravat with white spots on it, which looks amazing. A very high collared blue shirt waistcoat thing. It must be a waistcoat because the white shirt is what's underneath with the big frilly collar and the black Victorian era overcoat. Looks incredible. Looks absolutely incredible. Here we have the return of the kind of the starry pullover with the black hoodie and the overcoat with the red lining. This is a very kind of classic look. This is probably the best photo, actually. I guess that's why I put it in here. We also get to see the little sonic screwdriver as well. This is from Oxygen. We then come to this. Now, I absolutely adore this particular outfit of the 12th Doctors. It's like a grey, almost denim-esque. Don't know how I would describe it. I mean, it's very pretty. And he wears this for the Monk trilogy in the middle of Series 10, starting with Extremis, Pyramid at the End of the World, and then Lie of the Land. Yeah, it's a very nice, very nice version of the outfit. Again, we've got the white shirt. We have the black waistcoat, belt, and trousers. Only real difference being the jacket. Now, one of the things that we get in Extremis as well is we get this here, which is the red shirt, black hoodie, and it looks like a black smoking jacket actually, rather than a coat with lining, and some sonnet sunglasses as well, disguising the fact that the Doctor is blind. We then have like a star pullover thing rather than the t-shirt, along with again hoodie and jacket for Eaters of Light. And then for his last episode in World Enough in Time, and well, not his last episode, but what should be his last episode, World Enough in Time, the Doctor Falls, we are back to the classic white shirt, black waistcoat, and the coat with the red lining. Now, what we have next then is the two Doctors in Twice Upon a Time. So the 12th Doctor's outfit is obviously the same as it was in the previous episode, just with a bit more battle worn. And we also get David Bradley's first Doctor outfit as well. Very similar to Hartnell's, if not more or less bang on. I've just noticed he's wearing a medal. What's that about? So we've got the white shirt, we have the black cravat, we have a cream waistcoat with white and yellow stripes, the black suit jacket, and the checkered trousers as well. Very classic First Doctor look. I think David Bradley does a great job of it as well. Then we come on to the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, continuing the tradition of looking spectacular in the previous Doctor's outfit. Very battle torn and ripped up from the Doctor Falls, and obviously the Regeneration as well. Very explosive one. Yeah, Jodie looks incredible here with the white shirt, the waistcoat, the battered black jacket is incredible. I also think this is for a woman who fell to earth. I also think this is one of the best performances she gives as the Doctor. Yeah, and it's kind of a shame that we didn't get to see that level of eccentricity and joy and gravitas throughout her run. And then we have the 13th Doctor's outfit. Now, much like the classic era, we have effectively one outfit. But like the modern era, it was a lot like Eccleston's this, I guess. We've got this standard, and there's a couple of colour changes rather than any major updates. So we have the brown boots and the socks. We've got the teal trousers, which kind of are like 3/4 lengths. Not really a big fan of those. We've got yellow braces. We have the t-shirt with the rainbow stripes across the chest, and we have the very traditional coat, which long coat. It's kind of grey, silvery-ish, and it's got a hood as well. So incorporating a little bit of 12 there. It's I mean, it's an outfit. It's a touch more costumey than kind of what we've had for the past few Doctors. But I mean, it's very distinguishably the 13th Doctor though. So that's kind of the point. First variation that we get is in Rosa, when she has access to her TARDIS again, and that the shirt changes from blue to a very, very bright pink. Looks better, if I'm honest. We then get to see 13th Doctor sans coat. It's always nice to see the Doctor without the big coat on. And wearing a fez in Kerblam. And then we get a kind of 4th Doctor nod with the 11th Doctor wearing a glorious multicoloured scarf in Resolution, in brackets, of the Daleks. Now, this is my personal favourite outfit that Jodie wears. What she wears in Spyfall, the kind of just off black, proper long, gorgeous suit jacket with the big sticky out lapels, brown boots, black socks, the black 3/4 length trousers, the kind of gold black braces, gold black dicky bow, and white shirt is gorgeous. That is a timeless outfit, and I wish this is what she'd worn going on, because I think this is a stunning look. This is kind of like her version of the Christmas suit that I keep calling it as a Christmas suit. I don't know why I call it a Christmas suit, but you can see here, like, everyone looks amazing here, but the Doctor just looks absolutely spectacular. And I think Orphan 55. Yep. We get another variation where the jumper shirt thing is just a bit more of a vibrant blue, and the colours across the chest are different. They're a bit more reminiscent of Tom's scarf, actually, which is quite nice. And the Fugitive Doctor, another Doctor that never was. Well, no, actually, no. This is a Doctor. This is a Doctor. And a very, very interesting Colin Baker-esque mix with Captain Jack Harkness outfit. So we've got frilly cufflinks of both orange and pink, which is obviously at the end of an orange pink, almost half and half. Let us say Colin Baker-esque shirt. We've then got a very Captain Jack style waistcoat and overcoat, and kind of a roughly neck piece around her neck. It's a stunning look. It's very, very Doctor, very, very Doctorish. Kind of seeing the two of them side by side. It's if you saw them side by side about which one is the Doctor. We then get this variation in The Haunting of Villa Diodati, where we actually get to see the Doctor using the hood. Thank goodness. And we see there's a proper like buttoned up shirt underneath that's got a really nice little flower pattern on it, and a different scarf, a longer scarf, dark blue scarf with the pattern that's normally on her shirt at the bottom of the scarf. We then get our first variation on the hoodie jacket, which is black on the outside, or very, very dark navy blue on the outside. Rest remains the same. That's kind of the first time we see the jacket really changing. Then we have this in Legend of the Sea Devils, where she's wearing it's like a blue. There must be a blue shirt underneath that, but it's like a blue coat with red. They look like candy wrappers. Are they flower? Oh, they're flower. Yeah, we've got like in the red flowers. I mean, it looks fine. It's not. We then empower the Doctor. We get a whole bunch of Doctors, but ones that are representing the Guardians of the Edge. So we've got the first Doctor wearing this black, like velvety coat with lots of red lining all over it. We then have the fifth Doctor wearing a variation of that. So again, it's like the black cloak with with all the different markings and stuff on. We have the Seventh Doctor wearing again a variation on it where it's a black cloak, but this is like it's got a black shirt and um, like a black pullover on top of that again with red kind of piping all through it. And then what we have here is just an absolute treat. We get to see 5, 6, 7, and 8 in all of their glory. 6 doesn't get to wear the original outfit. What a shame. 5 and 7 we get to see in the original outfit, and 8 we get to see in kind of like a mishmash of what he wore way back when and what he wore during the Time War. So let's start with the Fifth Doctor's outfit then. Pretty much unchanged from Time Crash. We again have a version of the Doctor, the one that we were most known for. We've also got the hat as well, which I don't think I covered in last week's episode. But he looks magnificent. Looks like the suit fits him really, really well. Almost looks baggy actually, which is glorious. The Sixth Doctor, we get to see a very, very long version of the Guardians of the Edge outfit. I think his is probably the best. So the black cloak with the holes in it, with the red lining, and then he's got a red like coat cloak underneath with that kind of black almost belt. Looks brilliant. Seventh Doctor gets a bit of an update from his original outfit with a question mark umbrella and the question mark pullover, which is nice. The shoes are glorious. His checkered trousers are coming up a fair bit higher than they used to. His tie is a lot more David Tennant-esque, and it's done up a lot more than it was while he was actually the Doctor. We've got a white, almost like suit jacket rather than coat. We've got his wonderful hat as well. But the little kind of scarf that he's got is brand new and is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love the designs on it. And then we've got the Eighth Doctor sporting some stunning boots, absolutely stunning boots in brown trousers. That glorious kind of orangey gold waistcoat with the pocket watch, the green jacket, which looks a lot less like Matt Smith's one here than it did in the 50th anniversary, in a Night of the Doctor, I should say. The white shirt looks a lot less grubby, as does the little blue cravat. A much kind of cleaner, sharper version of the Eighth Doctor's outfit there, and it's just so nice to see all four of them together. Oh yeah, so I missed the curator when I was doing the 50th anniversary. So here is Tom Baker's curator, wearing a checkered shirt, with a little kerchief in his brown suit jacket. You can also see here at the back the roundels of, well, yeah. Anyway, so 14th Doctor then. Very similar styling to 10's, but vastly different. So white shirt, fine. We then have a tie, very nicely tied up. We're then wearing a tartan checkered suit with waistcoat and trousers and a blue overcoat. Very distinct from 10. I think obviously they were going for, if you know 10's outfit really well, if you're a casual viewer, then you'd look at it and go, oh, it's more or less the same. But if you know, you know. I mentioned in a previous episode that, when 13 regenerates into 14, I remember at the time, a couple of years ago, going, oh, I hope they explain that, and you just don't need to. It doesn't matter. The first Doctor, when he regenerates into the second Doctor, his clothes change, no one bats an eyelid. So, I think what we get in the fact that David Tennant kind of looks at his outfit and is like, how the hell did that happen? That's kind of enough. That's all we really need. The only real variation that we get with 14's outfit is we get an episode, Well Blue Yonder, where he's not wearing the overcoat. So we get a much better look at the waistcoat and the kind of grey fuzzy tie that he is wearing. We then have the two Doctors of 14 and 15. So the only other real change that 14 gets, it's surprising that in 3 episodes it gets 3 variations of his own outfit. We see him sans tie. I'm pretty sure he's not wearing shoes either. So we've just got the white shirt and the tartan waistcoat and trousers. And then 15's first outfit is a white shirt. White overshirt, because that's the little undershirt that David's wearing there. Like a little polo shirt. Well, there you go. So many layers. Yeah, so 15's got the tie undone wrapped around, and he's obviously got the white boxer shorts on as well. Then we have the first promotional photo of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor. Not an outfit we've seen him wear in the episodes yet, but I'm sure it is coming with the glorious bright orange jumper and the tartan checkered trousers and tartan design checkered jacket as well with the brown shoes. So very much keeping with the modern Doctor Who motif of there's going to be a long jacket and there's going to be the suit trousers. The suit trousers is kind of what's stuck since I think even since Eccleston actually, because he didn't wear jeans. They've all worn like proper trousers. Um, yeah, because even Seven had the baggy checker stuff. Anyway, it's a beautiful outfit for a beautiful Doctor. So the first one that we actually get to see him wearing then is in the nightclub where he's got the vest and the kilt on. It's one way to introduce a Doctor. It looks very, very good. And then what he's wearing for the rest of Church on Ruby Road is like a leather brown version of the jacket that we saw in the promotional video. We've got a much more colourful, stripy kind of zip shirt thing. And I believe it's bright blue trousers he's wearing as well. Looks wonderful. So the next couple of photos are just promotional photos. I will kind of go over this in a bit more detail in a few months' time once we've seen the episodes. But for the episode set in the 60s on Abbey Road with the Beatles, we've got the 15th Doctor with a glorious afro, a white shirt with a thin grey tie, and a blue striped suit, which is a I mean, the man looks incredible in whatever you put him in, but it's a massive, massive departure that. So, as we've kind of seen, when was the last time we had a Doctor just wear period accurate stuff? It genuinely might be Hartnell back in like the Romans, because it's always like a historical variation, whereas this is we've gone back to now the outfit's changing, which we can see more of in this glorious shot with Jonathan Groff, where the Doctor's got kind of like knee high tighty whities and he's got cream trousers on and this just spectacular like red velvet suit jacket that's got coattails down to past his legs and he's got the white frilly shirt underneath. Very third Doctor that. Um but wildly different from the promotional material. So it seems like for the first time we're going to have a Doctor who, well, I can't say for the first time I have a Doctor who's going to have different outfits all the time. It looks like when this Doctor goes into the past, he's like, right, what is my wardrobe for today? Which is yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. I'm really, really excited for Shooty's first season. We're a couple months away from it, and I can't wait. And so that is the end of the main part of the podcast then. So do let me know. Like I said you can get in touch with me at the SJD Show podcast at gmail.com. Which one of all the outfits is your favourite? I think if I was to look at the entire run as a whole, the fourth Doctor's last outfit and the 11th Doctor's last outfit that I would probably say are tied. I'd say 11 edges it out just because of the purple. But like mahogany being like that sort of rich mahogany that the fourth Doctor. Oh, then the scarf. Oh, I actually can't pick one. They're both absolutely beautiful in their own way. If you wore the fourth Doctor's one, it would very clearly be an outfit. Like you clearly be in costume. If you wore the 11th Doctor's one, you can, if it suits you, you can pass that as actual clothes. It would depend on the day. Anyway, let me know what yours is. So brings us to the last part of the podcast, which is what is Sean up to? Right, what have I been up to? What have I been watching? Drive to Survive came out, which was I mean just brilliant as it always is. I get a lot of things in there, especially with the news that's come from Formula One, like Hamilton talking about signing for Mercedes and who will probably stay there for the rest of his career, is hilarious given what's happened. Horner talks in that about signing Ricardo for 2025, not 2024. So it was never on the cards to replace Perez for 2024, which I find bizarre given how badly Perez was performing last year. And he's got a lot to prove if he's going to stay in that seat. I don't necessarily think Ricardo might take that seat, um, but I don't really know who else Red Bull would take if Perez underperforms this year. But realistically, 2025 should be Liam Lawson and somebody that isn't Yuki Tsunoda in the Toro Rosso. It absolutely should. I mean, the fact that Liam Lawson's not in there this year is just begs belief. Yuki shouldn't. I mean, Yuki for me personally, he's got a lot to prove this year. But we'll see. We'll see what he does this weekend. Anyway, we get a bit of a showcase for James Vowes and Fred Vasseur, and the kind of the different pressures they've got, and it's interesting to see Fred Vasseur, team principal of Ferrari, how he takes the pressure on and how he doesn't lose his. There's a scene where he's kind of. I think it's just after Monza where Charles and Carlos were racing a bit too hard. I say a bit too hard. They almost like cost each other a really really strong position, and you get to see in Drive to Survive the way Fred deals with it, and it's interesting because it kind of cuts between how Gunther deals with stuff, and in hindsight, Gunther probably should have left Haas a couple of years earlier. Um, So you see, Gunther is, effing and blinding left, right, and centre and shouting at people and slamming doors and whatnot. And then Fred's literally got Carlos and Charles. He's got them up for a really nice breakfast, sitting down. How are you? Have you got a girlfriend yet? No, oh well. Right, so Italy can't happen again, and that's it. Like it's literally that can't happen again, and that's the end of the comp. And then Carlos and Charles like, yeah, we probably went a bit too far, and Fred's like, there's no probably. You went too far. Don't do it again. And it's like, and then you carry on eating like it's nothing. And I was like, that's how you manage drivers like Carlos and Charles because especially this year, Carlos has kind of been asked to play the team game a couple of times the past couple of years, and he just won't this year. He just won't. Um, I mean, I kind of hope he won't. He probably will, but he shouldn't. Because he's got to put himself out there as a candidate to replace Hamilton at Mercedes. He's got to put himself out there as a candidate to replace Perez at Red Bull. He's got to put himself out there as a candidate to potentially replace Alonso at Aston Martin. He's got to really put himself out there to kind of make sure he doesn't end up in I mean to be fair he'd be pretty cool in Williams. Him and Albon next to each other would be quite nice if Williams gets a grip together. Also, it's also really nice to see James Vowes' approach, which seems to have worked really well last year. Very kind of personable, calm, sitting with Alex and saying, "Look, we think we can take this to World Championships," and Alex going, "Ha ha ha, yeah," and he's like, "No, no, seriously." Like what he said is he was surprised by the challenge that was in front of him when he joined Williams, and it was a lot bigger than he was expecting it to be. I don't know what he was expecting. Williams were last for about 3 years, and they refused to like they were still operating the way they were operating in the 90s because that's when they won championships. Obviously, like, well, that's how we do it now, and it's like, no, it's not how you do it now. If that's how you do it now, Red Bull wouldn't be winning, Mercedes wouldn't be winning, McLaren wouldn't have overtaken you, 20 odd years back. Anyway, I think he's doing a great job. Be watching classic Top Gear. Just started season 4 of that. They just did an episode on sat navs and this wonderful thing that is becoming a standard on proper high end cars and how it still kind of can take you to the wrong place because it's not updated as well as it should be and it's really interesting watching old Top Gear like classic Top Gear and just seeing how far road technology's come in the last 20 years really. We also watched the next 2 episodes of a series of unfortunate events covering the reptile room. The first part was kind of crap, but the second part was spectacular. We realised that 'Cause it was while we were reading the second book as well that I started flagging with the way it was written and just the kind of contrivances that you have to dance around to have the adults not realize it's Count Olaf. Whereas this was much better with it. Um, Spoilers for both episodes. When the way the way they show Olaf killing uh Dr. Montgomery and the way he goes about it is, I mean, it's spot on to how the book does it, but there's a lot of like little changes that they make just kind of in like structure and pacing, like when Olaf tries to kill Montgomery in the first part, he's pushing a lamp out the room. In the book, for some reason, Dr. Montgomery is like, oh, well, that was in Klaus's room, and Klaus, you shouldn't have a lamp next to the window, you muppet. Whereas this, Dr. Montgomery doesn't fall for that trap of, that Mr. Polk is falling into of, oh, it's definitely not Count Olaf. I mean, he doesn't clock that it's Count Olaf, which is very, very strange. Because in the book, you kind of go, right, everyone's daft and they don't notice it, fine. In this, there's a photograph where there's a piano and Dr. Montgomery looks at the photo and goes, oh, I remember that, it was really nice. And the Baudelaire children, who are just shocking actors, they are awful. You've got to hope they get better because every scene where it's just those two trying to have an emotional moment just makes me want to cry. Um, where it's revealed that in this piano is Dr. Montgomery and the Baudelaire's mum and dad, and Count Olaf took the picture. Whoa. But if Count Olaf took the picture, it means that they recognize, uh, it means that, Count Olaf and these guys, who are all linked by this. There's a subterranean network that's shaped like an eye, and they've got eye tattoos, and like there's the eye on the spyglass. They're really ramping up nice and early this interlinking mystery of what's going on. Um, but how the hell would Doctor Montgomery not recognize Count Olaf then? If they were friends way back when? I mean, I guess as well. No, he's not like a good actor, and he always looks the same. I don't know. Even in this heightened reality, that's a bit of a tough one to try and get past. But it's fine. The next two episodes that we watch will cover up to where we got in the books, and then after that, it'll be more just watching the show for the show rather than how is it adapting. But I think it's because it's obviously written by Daniel Hadler himself. It's Yeah, it's good. It's very very good. I also started watching uh Bond films again, which I've been meaning to do for a long long time. So starting with Doctor No. Um, Plot of it is there's a guy who works for MI5 or 6, I can't remember which it is. He's got information on Dr. No, he gets killed, need to send Bond to investigate why and what's going on. And that's it. That's it. Just a just a mission. No, my wife's being killed and I'm seeking revenge. No, oh, it's Bond at the beginning of his career. It's literally everything is established. And I say that like I don't love Daniel Craig's run as Bond. He is my favorite Bond. I think Casino Royale is my favorite Bond film by a country mile. I think it's one of the best films, for certainly one of the best action films I've ever seen. Um, but it is nice just to see James Bond on a mission, being James Bond. Uh, the title sequence is just like some random dots with the Bond theme over it. Uh, Connery, of course, is absolutely perfect as James Bond. Absolutely perfect. He is suave and charismatic, but dangerous. And oh, there's a scene in a hotel room where, and this is in the book Casino Royale, where you actually get to see him do like actual spy stuff. So before he leaves the room, he goes up to like cupboard doors and he puts like a little bit of like cell like clear tape on the cupboard door so he can tell if someone's opened it. and like he checks the phones to see if they're bugged, and he's checking like he does so many spy things that are. I mean, realistically, you can only do that once in a franchise like Bond. You can't do that every film. He says, even though every film there's a Q scene, there's an M scene, there's a moneypenny scene, there's a car chase, there's a villain, there's a pre big fight villain scene, there's a Q scene. You could have made it a staple to there always be a Bonds in this hotel. How's he gonna make sure that he's not gonna get caught here? But man, whatever. The Bond girl in Ursula Andress, she's brilliant. She is feistier than one would expect for a female co-lead in 1962. Still nothing compared to like what's her name? Oh, what's her name? The one that was in the one that was in No Time to Die. She was Anna de Armas. Yeah, like Anna de Armas set the very much the new standard for what a Bond girl should be, because she was just spectacular and wonderful, and I think the female leads in Bond films should absolutely be matching him toe for toe rather than just kind of being subservient, which Sylvia Trench is in this film, which is a bit of a shame. But Ursula Andress is very good. She is very good. Annoyingly, they have the sex on the boat at the end, but that's a staple that sticks around until 2002, and then it goes away for a couple of years, and then it comes back with a disgusting vengeance in Skyfall, where Daniel, the lady that he has sex with, gets shot in the end. Says, I was sold into the sex trade at 12, and then about 5 minutes later, he's shagging her in a shower. It's like it's weird, very, very weird. Whereas in Spectre, at least, the lady that he has sex with, they go into detail to the point where it's like, well, I'm not having sex with her for gratification, although, there's clearly going to be a part of that. There's actually a plot reason, because he's trying to get information, and that's the point of Bond sleeping with all these women. That was the point in the novels. There is a When Roger Moore takes over, that becomes the point of it, because bless him, Roger Moore is nowhere near as attractive as Sean Connery. Um, but that gets when Bond is at its worst, that gets lost. When Bond is at his best, that's the point. Um, anyway, yeah. The villain, Joseph Wiseman, uh, whilst controversy for the fact that he is wearing yellowface and is wearing prosthetic to make his eyes look more Chinese, and the fact that he begins the trope of I'm a villain, so I must have some kind of physical deformity, and he's got metal claws. In spite of all of that, he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. He sets the tone for where Bond villains should always be, which is understated, underacted, almost always like never flappable, always calm. I'm thinking Hugo Drax in Moonraker is like that. Um, Blofeld before he's actually shows up is like that. Robert Redford's character in From Russia with Love is like that. Uh, they're not all like that, which is a shame, but they should be. Scaramanga isn't really that either. Christopher Lee takes a bit of joy in it, but that works for Scaramanga as a character. Le Chiffre is gloriously underplayed, which thank God, because following Toby Stevens is Camp as Hell, Zappy Dude, and Jonathan Price, and even Sean Bean's camping it up a little bit. Le Chiffre is exactly where it should be, and then Dominic Green's rubbish. I think Christoph Waltz's Blofeld nails the blend of be as understated as you can, but if you're gonna camp it up, that is the level you camp it up to. Because Blofeld's a tough character to do completely straight. And I think Christoph Waltz nails it in a way that, like, I think Donald Pleasance always has a bit of a twinkle in his eye, or that could just be the makeup, the scar. Anyway, Joseph Wiseman sets the standard that it's you understate it because with all the fantastical stuff going around it, your villain needs to be as central as possible. Not that many of them stick to it. Your big climax scene, obviously, big massive set, which is going to get blown up. Lots of miniature work. It's it is a pretty sensational film. So one of the things that I did a while back was I kind of looked at where films finished. So last year, 2023, for example, Barbie was the highest grossing film of the year. So far this year, it's the Beekeeper, a Jason Statham generic action flick. Not seen it. Don't have no intention to. But it got me interested for all the franchises that I like, that I follow. Where did they fall? So Doctor No, which is the very first Bond film, 1962, and it was the second highest grossing film that year. The highest grossing film was, because I don't know that off the top of my head, but 1962 was Lawrence of Arabia, which beat Doctor No, which is something. From Russia with Love was also second to 1963's Cleopatra, and then 1964 Goldfinger does actually take the top spot. Bond gets number one a couple of times, but the highest grossing films of every year will be a podcast for another day. Yeah. So, what have I been playing? I failed my Fire Red Nuzlocke. I got all the way up to the Elite Four, and then I think I was getting bored of it because I put a lot of time into it, and I was like, right, one of the things with Nuzlocke's kind of pre-Gen 6, pre-Gen 5, um, is if you lose a Pokemon late in the game, it takes so much effort to grind one of the Pokemon you caught 20 levels lower up to a point where they're competitive. And I just can't be bothered. I really can't be bothered grinding. It does my head in. So I don't bother. Also, Pokemon Presents this week announced Pokemon Legends Z to A, a Legends game set in the origin of Kalos, which led some corners of the internet to believe that means we're not getting a black and white remake or something. And we absolutely will. Like, we definitely will. Like, it's just they will have probably looked at, do we want to do black and white as a straight remake, or do we want to do black 3, white 3? Do we want to, there will be something. The fact that we're getting another Legends game is the big plus. There were some corners of the internet moaning that we didn't get a Let's Go Johto, but frankly, I couldn't care less that we're not getting another Let's Go game. Like, it's fine. But the fact we're getting another Legends game is amazing. Whether it is a prequel, obviously the trailer's talking about redevelopment of Lumiose City. So whether we're getting a prequel set just after the Pokemon War, who knows? But yeah, with that, I think we are done. So thank you very, very much for listening to this podcast. This is a very, very long one. If you're watching the video on YouTube, thank you so much. Wherever you are watching or listening, like, comment, subscribe, rate, stars, opinions. Just tell me everything. Tell me everything that you think about anything and everything. Well, don't actually. I don't care about all of that. Just tell me what you think about Doctor Who, Eurovision and Formula One. That'd be great. Maybe some Pokemon too. Yeah, so you can reach me on the SJD Show podcast at gmail.com. I'm also on TikTok at the SJD Show. There's also my YouTube channel, the SJD Show, as well. Next week, I think I touched on earlier that I had an idea of how I would revise Eurovision's Big Five. That's going to be next week's podcast. I'm going to go into a lot more detail as to how I would actually do that. And what the implications would be over the past 60, 70 years of Eurovision. But until then, take care. and I will see you next time on the SJD show.